Good morning. My name is Przemysław Korzeniowski, and I'm with Sano Center for Computational Medicine here in Krakow. And today I would like to talk about our work on virtual reality simulators for surgical training, specifically about fetoscopic case. Yes, so spina bifida, or in Polish rozszczep kręgosłupa, is a birth defect developed during early stage of pregnancy, in which there is an incomplete closing of the spine. Hence, the spinal cord is literally outside the body of the baby. Normally, this is fixed after the birth, but the sooner the better. So we are cooperating with a clinician from Medical University of Warsaw, who is one of few fetoscopic surgeons. So fetoscopic surgery is a surgery performed on a fetus in a pregnant uterus. So in other words, in a baby still in mother's womb. Hence, this surgery is very delicate and requires excellent procedural skills. So the steps of the surgery are as following. So first, there is a circumferential diathermy around the placode. So what you see here is basically the back of the baby. Then, using Graspenzer scissors, the tissue is undermined. Then it's cleaned using irrigation, and finally there is a myofascial flap sutured. So the learning curve of such procedure, as I mentioned, is steep and requires excellent procedural skills. Okay, so one of ways of teaching is training manual skills are virtual reality simulators, which offer safe, cost-effective, and fully configurable training environments free from ethical and patient safety issues. However, to our best knowledge, there is no simulator supporting fetoscopic surgery. That's why we developed such at Sano. So here you can see our simulation setup. So it's based around desktop, laptop PC with a specialistic haptic interface. So on top you can see our initial setup, which I assembled, and below there is our state-of-the-art laparoscopic interface with full force feedback, which means that basically you feel the trainee also feels the forces in their hands during the training. So it's not only see the endoscopic image, but also can feel what's going on with the tissue, which is especially important for such delicate surgery. So I won't be diving deep into the simulation method. So we here you can see basically it's working like this, yeah. The mesh, the 3D mesh, volumetric mesh that's used for simulation. So it consists of 30,000 finite elements. And these are updated at 1,500 kilohertz. So it's less than a millisecond to calculate everything, and because that is what is required to have realistic force feedback to feel in your hands. It's enough like to trick your eye to have a new picture every like 16 or even 30 milliseconds, but to trick your hands so things feel smooth, and this is what is required, so above 1 kilohertz. So very challenging, and we use like neo-Hookean constitutive model. And here are results of the virtual procedure. Hopefully the video will work. Yes, so the gentleman here is Robert Bravura Biskupski-Stamacha, a fetoscopic surgeon from Warsaw. So here's the real surgery. And here is our virtual reality counterpart. I think there's audio.
The next is to dissect the remaining tissue while gently pulling with the grasper. And here you can see our VR simulation. For future work, we are planning to add patch suturing. Thank you very much.
Yes, so patch suturing, like suturing in general, VR is like super challenging. I've been working on this for 4 years. So initially we validated the simulator at Medical University of Warsaw. So in total we have 14 participants and initial phase and content validity. So phase validity is basically we check using surveys, how realistic different aspects of the simulation seems to the clinicians who use the simulator. And content validity means how complete it is. So it's scored both like really high. So vast majority was interested in the concept and especially of the simulation of fetoscopic surgery, and they rated the realis as very high, usually around 4 out of 5 on a Likert scale. And simulator showed also very good content validity, so its usefulness as a training tool. And in general, learning fundamental laparoscopic skills was marked 4.63 and 4.8 respectively. Later on, last year, we were invited to Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists in London for larger validations. So here you can see Professor Asma Khalil, who is the Vice President of RCOG. So we had more than 40 participants at these workshops, and later on I was invited again. This time the simulator was a sort of regular training station, not only like an experimental setup, but just a setup where all the trainees could experience how to perform such surgery. So here is Robert like instructing the trainees. And last year we also, the simulator was used as a training station at Terapia Płodu in Warsaw. So that was event inspired basically by the event in RCOG. Yeah, so to summarize, we developed a prototype VR simulator for core manual skills training for fetoscopic surgery. Initial simulation showed that it's very useful tool for training and learning fundamental laparoscopic skills. And yes, we are also using the simulator as potentially as a virtual environment for training not only people but also machines to generate data for machine learning algorithms, so-called AI, in the context of computer-aided surgery as well as robotic surgery. Thank you.